Hey guys, it's John here with Grainfish Nation. Today on the channel, we're going to talk about the reason I went from this to this. So you guys stay tuned. Guys, sometime in the past, I done a video over my power speed controller, I guess you would say, for my 11.5 Outlaw. And I used a PWM. I done a video of the construction of that, how to mount it, how to wire it. I put fans on it. I've done a lot of things to it. Since then, I have upgraded not only my kayak, I've had this thing for a year and a half now, but I also updated my speed controller, and I moved away from this PWM and I went to just a stock Minn Kota switch, and I'll explain to you why. All right, guys, about 4 years ago, I got into kayak fishing. Started out just like everybody else did, just rowing my kayak. Then I moved from a small, sit down low, but on top kayak to the Outlaw 11.5. It wasn't as easy to row as the other little kayak I had. Something I bought off a marketplace that was just a little bit better than a beer can, but it got me out on the water and it got me fishing. So what I want to talk to you about is this PWM. I want to tell you some advantages of this and some disadvantages of this. And I also want to tell you why I switched to the speed controller from Minn Kota when I got this unlimited. Guys, this PWM has lots of advantages, lots of disadvantages, but the main advantage that I can tell you about this PWM is you can really fine tune your speed with the speed knob. You click it off to turn it off, and the further you click it to turn it on, the further you turn it clockwise, the faster your motor goes, and you can adjust that in such micro fine increments. It's almost like if you had spot lock. If you're in current or if you're in a windy situation, you can really fine tune that and get that exactly where you want it. But I could just really fine tune this and really keep myself in place on windy days if I was fishing in some type of current or whatever. That's the biggest advantage of this PWM. The biggest disadvantage of these, and these guys, they just don't hold up. These things are about 65 bucks. This is 100 amp max amperage, but if you read the fine print, that's not continuous. That's 100 amp surge. This thing will only do about 50 amps continuous, and I'm running a 62 pound Newport Vessels trolling motor on the unlimited, and on high it draws about 52 amps. Now this will last for about a month, and then you're throwing it out, you're spending another 65 bucks to get another one. Now when I had the 30 pound Minn Kota, I had no problems with it. Those just don't draw as much amperage. They draw like, I think 46 amps max speed. Could run all day on it. But this just will not hold up to the bigger motors. But anyway, that's the biggest advantage. The biggest disadvantage of the PWM. I know I've heard lots of people say, oh, use this and use that. I've tried it. Just not what I need right now for me. So I'm going to show you what I went to. This is just a stock Minn Kota 5-speed forward, 3-speed back switch. They're 15 bucks on Amazon. This is the original one that I put on this kayak right here when I switched from the PWM. This switch is 1.5 years old, and I made it fail the other day out of ignorance. I was out fishing. I dropped a buoy on a stump where I was doing some crappie fishing. The wind blowed me back. Reached over and turned it on high to adjust myself. Unbeknownst to me, I wrapped that buoy line up on that trolling motor and actually broke the buoy off and broke the lead off. The trolling motor blade cut the line. So I fished the rest of the day running with all of that white cotton line wrapped around the shaft of that trolling motor. And I noticed that I was just not getting the speed that I normally do. I usually get about 4 miles an hour with this kayak and my big old self in there and all my junk. But I was only getting about 3.1 on high. And I was like, man, I guess my battery must be going bad or something. But anyway, got back to the boat ramp, and right before I got there, it just quit. I was 100 yards from the boat ramp, and I turned the switch, and I only had one speed. No matter what selector I selected on this, I only had high forward. Even if I put it in reverse, high forward. So for 15 bucks, free shipping, took me 5 minutes to literally unplug simple wires, put the new switch in, plug it up, close the lid, tighten it up, and I was back on the road. So I bought 2 of them. I've got one in my box over here, and I've got one in my box back there. That way, if I get off somewhere, it's a no tool change. All I gotta do is pop the top off of that box, switch it out, chunk the burned up one in the back of the kayak box, continue on with my day. But that's the reason that I switched from the PWM. So I'm gonna say the main advantage to this is ease of use, ease of maintenance, and durability, all kind of wrapped up into one. Because like I said, I fish a lot. I've got a lot of hours on this little switch, and if it wouldn't have been through my neglect, just through ignorance, this switch would still be going today. I feel totally confident in that. But one of the biggest disadvantages in this little switch is I just don't have the variable, fine-tunable speed control. That's the only thing that I can think negative about this little switch at all. But guys, I appreciate you joining us today. I just wanted to explain to you why that I have switched from a PWM to the standard Minn Kota 5-speed switch. If you have any questions about this, if you need a more in-depth video on actually how I done this, how I wired, anything to do with my kayak, I would just love for you to drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to know about, and I would love to share it with you. I make these videos for one person. I don't make them for the masses. So if you're that one person that has a question about something, drop me a comment. This video is made for you. Till next time, guys, I'm John. I want to wish each and every one of you tight lines.